Hi, Chris here. Why keep your audio cables neat and tidy? Well, there are many reasons. I'm going to tell you about it. So, do you ever hear the quote, "Cleanliness is next to godliness"? I know it was referenced in one of my favorite movies of all time, Gattaca. If you haven't seen Gattaca, Gattaca is one of the greatest. So, I'm going to show you some pictures of some cables. Yeah, this is my mixer, which I don't use anymore. This is my old studio setup. But anyway, that's my mixer. Those are a lot of the cables. It might look like a mess, but it's actually pretty neat. And I'll switch to this picture. And this is my the table with the mixer. And on the top right, you can see the red audio interface. And there's a lot of cables and power cables. This might look like a mess, but this is actually pretty neat and tidy. And there are many reasons why you want to keep your cables neat and tidy. I remember back when I was in New York in the 90s, working in the big studios and all that, and learning how to be an engineer, the concept of having neat and tidy cables was very, very important, always. So, and they teach new, up and coming engineers. That's one of the first things you learn is to keep everything neat and tidy. The main reasons to keep all your cables neat and tidy, well, if they're neat, you have the ability to easily add a cable or remove a cable or reroute cables, rerun cables. So if everything is a spaghetti mess, literally changing one cable, it's going to be a headache. So if everything's neat, though, you can easily remove one, add one, whatever you need to do. Also, it's easier to troubleshoot problems. If your cables are neat, you can more easily troubleshoot. Also, if your cables are neat, you can keep the audio cables away from the power cables. So, because if the audio cables run parallel to the power cables, some 60 cycle hum can be introduced into the audio cable. So you kind of have to try to keep audio cables and power cables away from each other. And also, if things are neat, it's easier to work. And it's almost like when things in your physical environment are neat and tidy, it almost relaxes your mind. It like your mind can relax. Whereas if everything's messy, you're kind of always trying, kind of worried about it, or, it's like mental tension if things are all messy and all over the place. But if everything's neat and tidy, it's like everything's clear. You can think much more clearly. And so, yeah. And when I think about either rearranging my studio or even setting up a new studio, I do spend a lot of time thinking about how I'm going to run the cables, where they're going to be, and I do plan it out very carefully. I mean, I might be a little crazy with that. If I'm going to rearrange my studio, I literally just put a chair in the room and I sit there, and for maybe half an hour, I'll just like imagine where things could go, and my mind wanders and stuff, but I spend the time thinking. So anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you in this little video. Don't forget, the Podcast Engineering Show is my podcast you can listen to. Daily goodies, you can sign up to receive them in your email. And podcastengineeringschool.com is where you can find everything, including the main course where I teach people how to work from home and earn a great living producing podcasts for other people. So that's it. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to. And we'll see you then, and comment, and I'd love to hear from you. Okay, see ya.